Good morning, everybody. AJ, the CEO here. Thank you so much for stopping by. We're back. Somewhat. We're somewhat back. Hold on, let me check this audio real quick. Is my audio low? Hold on. See? Hold on. Let's crank up the audio. Let me know, folks. Is the audio low for y'all? Coming in low. Gotcha. I got you. Give me a second. See, I'm on here. All right. How about now? I have my Rode low. All right. How about now? I have my Rode. All right. So I hear myself loud and clear. Hopefully y'all can hear me as well too. Again, thank y'all so much for your patience. Very, very thankful. We're not 100% with everything yet. We're not 100% with everything yet, but we are much better based off of what we got going on. Again, folks, AJ the CEO here. We try to come to you every Friday when we're not moving to answer your media ministry questions and do the best that we possibly can to help you with your media ministry endeavors. I don't know everything, folks, but hopefully I can point you in a direction to get those questions answered so that we can help share the message like never before, because the world is desperately in need for truth, not opinions, but truth. And hopefully the little tech that I do will help facilitate that a lot more. So let's get out here and let's holler at some of the good folks out here. RK Bench Maker, hello, hello. From Texas, Philip Paul, hello, hello. Parker. Now, I am missing a monitor right now. I'm only doing two because I normally have a monitor right here in front of me on the wall, but I don't think I'm going to do that yet. But I'll try and show you what we got here shortly. Fresh start. Hey, good morning to you, Courtney. Good morning, Bill. Good morning to you, Monty. What is going on, Sir G. Albert? Wait a minute. Guess we're broadcasting from the new place with fresh paint and no hole. No, there are holes in the wall, but they've been patched up. Dennis, good morning. The Lord thy God is one God. Hello. We'll get to your question shortly. Rob, good morning, sir. Tekitera, good morning to you. Sorry if I know I pronounced that wrong. From Kenya, hey, good morning to you. Pamela, good morning. It's good to be back as well. Anthony, what is going on, sir? Brian Jones, how you doing? Richard, hello, hello. When is the housewarming? Well, I'm planning Thanksgiving with family, and then I got another housewarming for local folks and friends and stuff like that coming up soon. Wait for the details on that. Michael, hey, good morning to you. Man, Kenneth, shalom from Tanzania. Wow. Hey, thank you for stopping by. GHB, hello, hello. Mr. Clarence. Come on now. There you go. How you doing? Darius, good morning, good morning. Alrighty, folks. So again, we've been playing around with some stuff. So hold on, let me disconnect myself. I don't have my audio yet. My full audio, because I ended up selling my Rodecaster. I'm getting a smaller one, so that's not here yet. But let me take you on a mini tour, very mini tour. All right, so that's the same button with Ayana. I need to reprogram that. That's not right. But anyway, this is what we got so far. Can we get in focus? There we go. So we got our space here. We got the other computers and stuff like that set up. Not 100% yet. But this is going to be, if y'all saw my video, this is server room number 2. All of these cables are going to be in the ceiling. We're going to run all of that down, all that stuff. my daughter's chair just actually got delivered right before I got here. So, you know, we still got tons and stuff. As you can see, we're on the top floor. I got my daughter's room set up somewhat. I still got to get her bed and all that other fun stuff there. But let me take you on. Hopefully my audio is still good. Please excuse my dirty room because I haven't got my furniture in here yet. But one thing I did do while we were in Chicago, and I need to edit that video, we ended up getting an end wall. That's the Unify 7 end wall that I took out the jack. And where these people who ran the wires here, this is how they ran all the wires. And I mean, the RJ45s in the walls. Horrible quality from the wiring. So anyway, I just took the jack off and put that in place, and that's what we got going on. And that's the extent of what I'm gonna let y'all see up in here. So again, thank y'all for y'all support, and boy, I'm gonna get in shape for trying to carry and run up all these steps and stuff like that. But that's what we got going on. I am thankful, excited. Let's see. Kamoko Jones, hey, good morning to you. Springtrap, good morning. Yeah, I mean, it's so much stuff. I'm glad I took a whole bunch of reference pictures because we're going to be, oh, I didn't see, I'll show you the one last thing. So like I said, I'm on the 4th floor. Come on, camera. I am on the 4th floor. I'm waiting for the camera to pick up. There it goes. So what I have cut. Let's get rid of this. So like I said, there's no wiring up here at all. So what I'm going to be doing is right there. So we're going to open that up. There's no wiring in my daughter's room. She doesn't know this. My daughter's starting doing YouTube and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run cables over here as well, too, and almost mimic the same setup. So I'm going to give her a desk and everything that she can have her camera and everything like that to live stream. But what I'm going to do is open up the ceiling. The server room is right on the other side of this linen closet. We're going to open that up, and we're going to put all the cables that y'all were messing with me for years about, all of the fiber. We're going to have 6 jacks here, 6 jacks here, 6 jacks here, and that's going to be for Ethernet. Fiber is going to be right here in the wall. Fiber is going to be here in the wall. My overhead camera is actually going to be, hold on. My overhead camera is actually going to be mounted right here. So my PTZ is going to be mounted on the ceiling. We're going to run all of our connections to our ATEM in a pass-through on the wall right there so we can get to that. So, again, a lot of stuff that we've been talking about for years, that's what we're going to be doing. So, again, we'll be bringing some videos to y'all about all that fun stuff. You said the volume is lower. Oh, I know what happened. When I picked that other camera, it turned this off instead of me hitting the button on here. So my apologies. Hold on. Let me do that again, and I'll press the right button this time. Come on now. Come on. All right. So it's camera live. It's live. All right. So that's live. We press this. It's gonna bring up Ayana's image again. Hold on. All right, we bring back the audio, my main audio. So what I was saying is we'll do a bunch of videos, but we're going to put, the server room is right on the other side of this second part. The fiber here, we're going to be running that from the basement, where the first floor, all the way up over here. We're going to drop that down, so it'll be a 10 gigabit connection to everything up here. My PoE switch is right there. We're going to put a PTZ in the ceiling. So my top-down view, it'll actually be mounted here. So I won't use an arm on the table at all. Look at that. Look at that pretty little girl right there. But anyway, and she has not seen the house yet. I mean, she hasn't been here. We've taken a tour of the house, but she hasn't been here since I've moved in. She'll come here Saturday. But we're going to put 6 jacks in the wall down there, another 6 over here, 6 over there, and then all of the connections that go to the ATEM will be ran through the wall as well, too. So hopefully y'all can hear me better that time around. All right, folks, where am I getting to? Because I don't have my view like I normally would. But let me actually do it this way. We just got back from Chicago, and it has been an adventure. Roundtable, y'all, we have a roundtable coming up this Sunday. I got some conversations for y'all. But I just showed it for a second. This right here, emissionarygear.com, that is gone. I'm trying to do the website again. I've had way too many people go through Teespring, and they had some very, 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 very delayed orders and stuff like that, and I'm not satisfied with that. So we have upgraded. Monty, we've upgraded to fourth wall, so it's emissionarygear.store right now. And we got a few things, and this is the same shirt that I am wearing now, the embroidered one. This is kind of like a regular polo, so it's not a dry fit. I need to, not dry fit, but you know, the golf type shirts. It's not that one yet. I need to get back on here and make the rest of them. So all of this stuff is migrating over here. So we got the embroidered t-shirt, we got just a regular polo, and we have the desk mats that are on there as well. We're going to be adding more stuff back over here, but that's where we're moving because I wasn't happy with what some of y'all have told me when y'all were getting stuff from there. So be on the lookout for that. Since we're back up, don't forget, folks, let me shout out your media team. Y'all are doing great stuff. We want to use this platform to shout them out. Send me an email at questions@ajhomes.com. Make the subject my media team. Send me a picture of your team so I can shout them out. Tell me where you're from, your church's name, and just give me the first names of folks so I can give them their roses now. We're going to, once we get back fully up and running, we're going to get over to the church live streams. All this other moving stuff kind of threw all that off. So all the people who sent it to me, I still got y'all, but we're going to be still doing that stuff. Also, 4meconference.com. Y'all go to that. You can register for the wait list for next year. We are planning it. We are going to have it in person and hybrid again. We're going to do bigger and better. All this other fun stuff. Oh, I'm forgetting some other stuff here as well too. So what we have later today is I actually have an interview with Ubiquity. We're going to be talking about all the stuff that we did at First United Methodist, and you never know, it might go into something else. One question, it says, can international people participate? Yes, you can. If I can't ship it there, we'll try and figure some other stuff out. If you just enter, everybody is good. It was probably the NDI camera on my phone, but it should be fine now. But anyway, we got a lot of stuff. So let me just get all this other stuff done, so we can move forward. So let me show you one little thing. And just before we get started, folks, just know if you have questions, please start it off with a Q. It makes it easy for me to find you and find your question. But let me give you just a sneak peek of what we set up at First United Methodist, and it's a lot of stuff that we got there. Is this it? Yeah, let's do this one. So we got the other cameras there. We got all the hallways. This door we weren't able to get done because the stuff wasn't there, but we got the stairwells, we got the sanctuary, we got pretty much all the stuff. We got the door lock working, and who's getting ready to come up here to the door? Oh, the people that are working on the roof. We got the kitchen. Let's see. Oh, he ain't coming up there. But again, we did a lot of stuff up there. Really excited about all that. They're very happy with the things that we did up there as well too. But anyway, enough of me blabbing, folks. If you got questions, I'm tripping. It's been a minute since I've done this. If I don't get to your question, folks, know that you can email me at questions@ajhomes.com. Give me 48 to 72 hours to respond to you. If you're not a part of the Facebook group, folks, go to Facebook, look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy, answer the 3 questions. You are in like Flynn. Do not live stream inside there. Do not post sermons in there. None of that stuff, because it's not meant for that. All right. I've been a little bit more lenient, but now that I got back and I'm not working on my laptop, we're not doing none of that foolishness that's been going on in there. No cross promotions. Don't ask people to subscribe to your channel. Don't do any of that stuff, because that's actually against the terms of service in YouTube, and you already get busted for that. Is that everything? Yeah, it is. All right, so let's go ahead and get to your questions, folks. Package deep. I'm gonna go backwards. So like I said, start with your questions, folks, and I'm with a queue. That way I can search for it and get to you easily. The Lord thy God is one God. It says, I have the Fomaco bundle and I can't see it on my video switch. I need some more detail. How do you have it connected? What is it connected to? Is it going from HDMI? Do you have it going over Ethernet? Is it going into OBS? Need some more details on your setup to help you with that. All right, I answered that one. Page 3, page 2. Looking for the question. Scenario. Hello, I'm trying to patch my sound from my mixer to OBS on a Mac in our church. Okay, I need some details. What type of mixer do you have, and how are you sending the audio over? Give me some more details and I can help you with that. I am too. What I plan on doing is, I was talking to Francisco. I saw a YouTube tutorial. I'm actually going to make this logo out of drywall, so it looks like it's sticking out from the wall, and it's easy to do. And I'm actually going to paint this back wall kind of like a bluish gray in the background here, and I'm gonna have that logo embedded on there. We're gonna put some floating shells on there, so the YouTube badge, the silver play button, when we get that, that's gonna be back there. The awards that I got from the West and my degree and all that other stuff, we're gonna be putting on there. So we're gonna be able to decorate and do some other stuff as well too. So I am excited about that as well. And I'm happy that every month that I pay is actually going to something I own instead of putting in somebody else's pocket. Courtney, what I'm doing back in the day when COVID was there, I actually have the NDI HX app that they were giving away for free, but now they charge for it. So that's what I did. And then vMix, I just cut over to this as an input for a camera. That's how I was able to do that. Yeah, it is. There are some staggered ones downstairs. So like I'm getting ready to hang another TV on the main room. Now the good thing is I'm not going to show, it's like, I'm going to do a video about this, and I'm teaching my daughter the same thing. When y'all start doing vlogs and stuff like that, there's a reason why I don't show street signs. I don't show landmarks or anything like that. You should never do that, because that way people can find out where you're at, dox you, and all that other stuff. So that's the reason why I don't show the streets where I'm at. I'm not going to show the outside right now, because I have windows right here. We got some blinds that are going to be right here. So there's very good light right now from here. But anyway, but I say all that to say that when I was looking through all this other stuff, that's downstairs. And then from here, it should be very simple. And the fact that I can go up, drill into the walls, run everything the way I want to, I'm very excited about that. Mike, good morning to you, sir. I didn't see you there. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, and I already answered that question. You said now the audio is duplicated? Hold on. Let me see. So you said I don't hear it there. But we'll look on it if we're still having a problem. Brian said, 4th floor plus technical equipment, HVAC investments on deck. Well, see, that's the good thing. It's like it's split level. So this floor, my bedroom is on the 3rd floor. The entire 3rd floor is the master suite. So I have a zone for these 2 floors and then the one. Now my server one is over here. So if it gets too hot, I will get one of the Anchor that's a battery backup and it HVAC over here, or I could just get one of those split units, small units, and then run it outside the window. I don't think I need to do that because it gets really cold in here, and I'm trying to play around with the temperature as well too. Says, I'm in the process of migrating our churches from Envato to Unify. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Also, Brandon, he's not on here, but ultimately we do have the Unify NAS 2 should be here next week. So we're going to be doing that mainly because when I was doing some stuff at First United Methodist, they were having an issue with their old NAS because whoever set that up never set up a backup and they lost everything. So when I was talking to Pastor Felicia about that, she was like, yeah, we want to get that. So I'm going to get one to do a review. I'm probably going to migrate that from the Ugreen. I haven't really been too happy with the Ugreen. That's been backing up just my phones and stuff, but not really too happy with it. So what I'm going to do is probably take the drives out of that, put that in the Unify NAS. If I like that one, I might get the bigger one. Not no time soon. I mean, we're not Mr. Moneybags over here. We got stuff. We got 1 month that I didn't have to pay mortgage. My mortgage starts next month, so we'll go from there. Hello, my USB went out from the mixer, so I'm trying to patch the sound from it. But yeah, okay. But what type of mixer is it? You said for that. Nah, that was the construction people. Bill, where can a person go to learn all the things associated with streaming if they know absolutely nothing? I have several church youth who are interested and I don't know where to send them. Well, first off, you can come to this channel. You can, a lot of the videos that we did from the past conferences are on my channel. You can go through that. When I release the videos for this year, that will help as well too. And then be on the lookout for next year's conference. I mean, most of this channel is meant to help with all that stuff. We have a huge repository of all those things. Again, there's tons of other people out there to do this as well too. I'm not trying to be rude when I say this. Mine is not necessarily only tech. I want to actually do tech, leadership, as well as the mindset of how we use this tech to share the gospel. That's a little bit different. I just don't talk about like this new computer and this new camera. But I would say that as well, best way. JHB, we live stream our church service every Sunday. Use our equipment, audio, 4 cameras, etc. Set up, stream, tear down. They want to credit us an in-kind donation, but we don't know what it's worth. Now, I'll be honest, it's kind of, I mean, I've been meaning to talk about this as well as the mahogany stuff that everybody's talking about. And just like as a musician, we had the conversation of talking about should musicians be paid? And that conversation is now going, should media people get paid? I'm just going to give you my opinion. And it's biblically based, but this is my opinion, and I will base this as well too. So the Levites were people that helped run the church. The tithes and offerings that the people paid helped maintain the church, and then what was left went to pay the people that worked there, that were hired to work there. The people, the tribes were assigned to different roles of that. I say this, I was hired as a musician at Antioch for Fifth Sunday. Because I was hired, I get paid. Now, I volunteer to help them with media, so I don't get paid for that. That's my mindset. If I'm hired for that, I'm getting paid. If I volunteer my time and I choose to do that, that's just me. Now, with that being said, if there's an honorarium, because I think churches don't realize these skills are not the average skills that most people, well, now people are probably coming out of school with them, but the majority of people were getting this stuff and I believe that, yes, you should compensate people for the skills that they have, because a laborer's worth is, worth his pay. But I'll talk about that whole thing, deep dive. Maybe me and Elder Rod, we can talk about that from a biblical standpoint, because a lot of people who know just enough about the Bible to be dangerous, which means they don't know nothing from a biblical standpoint, to talk about the justification that people should get paid. Now, if the expectation is for people to put in a day's work, labor for a job and not get compensated, that's wrong. It talks about that as well too, that you don't exploit people as well too. But I will put it this way. If you're doing that every Sunday, if you really want me to be honest, if you're doing that every Sunday, breaking all that stuff down, and say, I would personally, if I was in leadership and people were doing that and I wasn't paying the people, at the end of the year, I would give, if I had a team of 4 people, I would give them $1,000 each. That's what I would personally do. And that's low compared to what it really should be. If I could, I would give people who are doing that every Sunday, every service, every whatever they're doing, personally, I would give them $10,000 if I had the power to do that. Because I think, and that's still the bare minimum. That's like a full-time job or even a part-time job that you're doing. That's my personal opinion. May 16 V3. Have you done any work on the Nginx UI? Welcome back. Yeah, I actually have, but that system is not set up. So I'm actually streaming directly through vMix. I don't even have my miniature rack with the web presenter or nothing like that. But I did do an update for mine. I need to update that on the website and the instructions on doing that. Also, Tara, I am going to do a video showing how to do that whole setup again on a virtual server as well too. And I need to get with Francisco, because he actually got the Facebook one, because they have a different secured encoding that I haven't figured out, but he did. So I need to get with him and we can document that to use that as well too. Gospel Talk Live ATL. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mike, let's see. We just got our system set up so we can do multi-track recording from our Allen Heath SQ5 to Reaper. I need to buy Reaper. I've been using that because I've been meaning to actually train Antioch on how to dial in the sound. But I use Reaper to record the entire service and then play it back, and we can adjust it to show people. When I'm not there, people forget to hit the record. Juan Carlo. Is it a good idea to use the Hollyland Lark M2 wireless mic to capture audio for PC Zoom meetings? I don't want access to the mixer due to our setup. The mic will be set up close to the PA. No. I would prefer for it to not be like that. I mean, you could. Does the Lark M2 allow you to have a plug-in? If it does, you could do it in reverse and have the plug-in, like I don't have, mine other one is downstairs, but you could plug in something and you could do it that way. I don't believe in setting down a mic in front of like a PA speaker that way. At least get a direct connection. If you have to, yes, that can work, but I would rather it be, if you got one that you can plug in, that would be the better option. Courtney, are there free ones available? My budget has been gone, maybe next year. what I missed. Which, see, I missed what that's in reference to. Put that there and I'll respond back. Let's see, back to the mixer. It's the Behringer Xenix. I was using the USB input in the back of the USB port to the computer. It worked for a while, then went out, trying to see other ways to patch the sound. All right, so that will work. My apps are not. My Stream Deck app is not working for me to show this. So again, my equivalent board is downstairs. So in here, when you're doing the USB out, by default, the USB should have that audio going in there. So where's it out? In and out. Why did you put that all the way on that side? So you have your aux out. And normally, where was the USB one? Oh yeah, it's USB. No, that's input. I might need to bring mine up here to do that. But by default, the USB out on that board is always your main. So there really shouldn't be any type of routing. By default, it should be that. I would say make sure you go into your computer and your Mac and make sure that audio is picking that up, that you have the right mic that's showing as the USB. But is like when in your Mac for your audio, what is showing as your options for your mic in? Let me know about that. Do I have an electric water heater in the attic? No, it's in the garage on the first floor. Hey, good morning to you. Take a Tara. I was following your instructions for setting up a stereo and messed up somewhere. Where in the process can I start over? Like after I removed the USB. Honestly, you'll be surprised. I've messed it up a few times when I was making that video. Actually, 8 times in total. If you've already, honestly, the easier thing is to put it back in the system, go into the BIOS, make it boot up from the USB again, and just start the whole process again. That's honestly the easier way. I had to do that multiple times. Yeah, I mean, I don't really use it for much, but I really haven't been that impressed with it. And then especially with the Synology and all that other stuff, I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to see, is it worth, like my Synologies, I don't need the proprietary drives. So me upgrading to anything bigger, that's not going to happen anytime soon. But if they do have an issue, I'm going to see how the Unify stuff is. And it's just like, been using it so much and promoting it, we're going to see. So this is the one that is coming in, and this it does have a power plug, and it has the same amount of drives that I have in the U-Green. So that should be here. Oh, and I got it right before it sold out. Yes. Hold on. Let me cut back. Let me see my order. And it shipped. Yay. I want to know, when is it supposed to be here? Sorry, because it shows my address. So that's why I'm not trying to put it up on here. Oh, it shipped today. So they made the label. They haven't done anything else yet. All right. So anyway, so this one does have power. This is the one that's possibly I'm going to order another one, or maybe give this one after I tested this to First United Methodist. But ultimately, what I really want to do is maybe look at getting this one. And this one is significantly cheaper than what I have for the Synology. But again, my Synology, I have 8 bays in that. And honestly, this one is still cheaper as well too. So I don't know. I might play around with that. But again, I want to show, because I really think every church should have a NAS. Because if you have a filing cabinet where you used to keep your recordings and stuff like that, you should have something to back up everything as well too. Let me see. MA16V3. Also, have you looked into the network UPS tools? You'll love it for the NAS. No, I haven't. I'm gonna look into that as well too. See, that's the thing. Once I got into this house, man, it was so many toys that I need to get, but we need other stuff like beds and like I'm happy. The mattresses were delivered right when I got off my plane from Chicago because I'm 47 and I've been sleeping on the floor and boy, that was hurting my back. And I slept on my bed last night and oh my gosh, it felt so wonderful. Hey, look, we try. And then it's also not to mention the priests who ate from the leftovers from the burnt offerings. See, exactly. See, that's the reason why I'm not just telling y'all about getting cameras and the tech. I want the tech to be, and that was one of my, and I might actually release my video early when I talk about your broadcast network, because what I really think all of us need to do is produce more. I got to be careful how I say this because I know we're in the era of cancel culture and all this other stuff. Let me just put it this way. We need more people that actually are teaching people how to be fruit inspectors, because there's a lot of people claiming to be Christians that look like beautiful trees with beautiful fruit until you get up on them and their fruit is plastic. Like we're meant to be fruit inspectors. If your fruit is bad, anyway, we need to have more content come out from your church, not just from your services, not just from Bible study, but we need to do breakdowns and stuff. So I was talking to Pastor Paul. I was going to do this myself, but not on my channel, might be something else. But I'm going through the U version of reading the Bible from beginning to end for like the third time. And I talked about that, doing something to where you're leading people, guiding people through the Bible, something that's easily digestible. It's 363 days of reading certain scriptures, go through the entire Bible from beginning to end. And that's just an evergreen content that stays there to where you're helping somebody go through the Bible, you're reading it together, you're studying it, and you're breaking down that session. Because there's a lot of people in the church that just listen to people that repeat stuff over and over again. And just because you repeat something over and over again does not make it true. You need factual, biblical word to show something is true. And I'm gonna keep all the rest of that stuff for the round table, because some of these folks, and it says, you know how like a lot of people says you can't judge me. Wrong. We're supposed to judge each other, because it says, if you find a fault with your brother, if you see your brother falling, which means that you have to be judging them to see that they're getting ready to make a mistake. We're supposed to help correct them. So we are supposed to judge each other, but realize when we judge somebody, we need to be willing to accept the same level of judgment that we're giving to somebody else. We need to be able to accept that when it comes to us. That's what that means. So there's a lot of people who are claiming Christian, but their activity, their speech, the things that they're doing are not bearing fruit. It's rotten fruit. And people need to know what that is. And I'm not just talking about just getting a new PTZ camera. People need to be teaching that stuff. So there's not your opinion. Here's in the Bible where it says, Lord, when have we done this to you? If you've done this to the lesser people, you have done it unto me. That's scriptural. But anyway, so I'm not trying to go in, because it was so much stuff that I can't talk about that I saw in Chicago that just annoyed the daylights out of me. And just people have no idea. Christian folks are just falling for some false teachings horribly. Gospel Talk. I built my streaming Ubuntu server. vMix is not working. Any thoughts? So the same type of server that we talked about, and vMix is not able to talk to it. Is that what you're talking about? Give me some more detail and make sure that I'm reading that right. David, hello. Have you ever given thought as to how someone can do a 24/7 live stream for multiple days, weeks, and longer? Well, I mean, I did the 24-hour live stream maybe like 2.5 years ago. I do plan on doing that again, but it ain't going to be me. So Elder Rob and some of the folks that are local might have y'all come up here and we do that a collaborative 24-hour one. But I mean, YouTube, you can stream as long as you want to. Just realize on YouTube, after 20 hours, they won't save the video. I learned that the hard way with my live stream, so I have to make sure I record that offside. But we are looking at possibly doing something else like that. But I don't have anything specifically that talks about that. But I mean, it is possible to do that as long as you just have stuff up and running, your constant connection. As long as you keep sending it, YouTube will keep going, no matter what you send, for how long it goes. Tony, how do I stop IP PTZ controller from getting unlinked by switching IP addresses? Don't let it switch IP addresses. Set a static IP address for all your cameras and your joystick. Either you can do that inside the router. Most routers will allow you to do that. I do it on the router and the device. So let me go to my stuff. So I make sure I'm hiding some stuff. Don't show your MAC addresses. All right, so like on here, this is my stuff in here. So like the thermostats, that's new stuff, but like my Ugreen in here, I don't care about this one. In here, see, under this router, I have it set to a fixed IP address, so it's always going to be that way. You can also go inside the device and do that. So if you have other routers, any router in the last 10 years will allow you to set a static IP address. So let me go to the ones that are offline. So my cameras and stuff like that, because I don't have my PTZs and stuff like that set up. And where's it at? It's not showing at all. But any of my cameras, my PTZ cameras, I have those set. They actually start at 192.168.0.90. My joystick is 90, and then my camera is 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. I have those set in the camera to where they're not set to DHCP to get an automatic IP address, but I have it set to always do that. But then I also have the router to say assign it. I do it that way so that if everything is connected and my internet went down, my cameras and joysticks will still work because they have the address to talk to them, because the device has that address of I'm responding at this IP address. But if the internet comes back up, it's still going to assign the same one to that address. That's the reason I do that. So that would be the suggestion for both of those. Philip Paul, hello. I thought you were on earlier. Oh, that's what you're talking about, the app. Are there free apps to use for the phone? My bad. I don't know off the top of my head. This one I think is like $7 last time I saw it. Let me see. NDI-HX camera app iPhone. It's so funny. I do that video and now I see people just reviewing the same stuff over and over again. Let me see how much that one costs. Yeah, I think I gotta be mindful of my calendar of what's going on today. Yeah, my meeting is at 3, so I got some time. Hold on, I'm trying to look up, see how much that camera app is. They do have another one. They have another one. I can't show it there. It doesn't get in focus. They have an NDI XX camera, another one that is free. They have the OBS camera one. Let me see. It doesn't show me the price on what this one is. So I don't know. I mean, that's the NDI camera easy streaming is the one that I'm using. But I have to do some research on some other ones. David wants to know, have I ever used Ecamm Live? Yes, I have. And I know Monty has a video under my channel as well as on his channel. He uses that. I don't know if Monty is still using that. I think he is. But that's what I would think. I've been meaning to do a video, and I paid for it for like 3 months to do a tutorial, and then just got so busy and I canceled it. But once we get everything settled and I set my Mac up and everything like that, we'll probably do something as well too. What would you recommend if I use to capture live audio from the room while streaming on Zoom meetings? The sound is not that great, and I'm trying to make it better. What would you recommend for capturing audio from a room? I would maybe a shotgun mic if you want to get everybody in the room. Personally, I wouldn't do that. But again, what are you trying to capture? Are you trying to capture everybody in the room, or are you just trying to get the speaker? Let me know that one, and we can go from there. Courtney, to the switcher. It all depends on what type of switcher that you're using. If you're talking about like an ATEM or something like that you need a physical connection, honestly, the Blackmagic camera app, if you can get an adapter for your camera that outputs over HDMI and you have a physical connection, you can connect it that way, or you can connect it to one of those wireless HDMIs. I know it's overkill, but if you really wanted it, that would work. That's how I normally have it set up here. We haven't unboxed that stuff yet. Mike, we just got the Sony laser projector and hooking it up in the network, but no joy. Anyone know how to enable the networking? That's the same one I think we installed at Antioch. Now, does it have multiple network jacks, Mike? Because I know that's what I got to go back in the ceiling next week and switch it over to the HD base T, because I think something damaged that up there. I need to see. Hold on. Because we ordered 3 of them. Let me look in my history. Let's see which ones. My orders. Come on now. Laser. I'm a firing my laser. So you have the FHZ65. I have the PHZ50. That's the ones that I installed at Antioch in 2021. But let me see. And you said the Sony FHZ65. Oh, those are nice. I hate when they do this and they don't give you the full picture of this. I'm trying to get the rear of the, so I can see the I/O ports on this thing. Discontinued. Okay. I just want the picture of the back. Why is that so hard? There we go. So, all right. So yeah, so this is similar to the one that I have, Mike. You got the 2 networking ones. Can you confirm which jack you're plugging into? Because the one over here to the left, that's your LAN. The other one is the HD base T. So that's only going to be accepting video. So that's not going to be accepting TCP IP type of traffic in any way, shape, or form. I had the same thing when I set the ones up at Antioch. Just got to make sure it's the right one. It should go directly in there, and it's through the menu. You can go there as well too. But let me know. Okay, yeah, thank you for that. That will help. DM, what do you recommend for a laptop connection ports under pulpit? What would you run? For laptop connections, I would do, honestly, I would do kind of like what we just talked about. I would have an Ethernet jack that's for regular Ethernet. I would do another Ethernet jack for HD base T. I do a fiber optic HDMI cable, and I would do a SDI connection. So that way you cover everything. And then if you really want to be extra, I would also do a 3.5 audio connection there as well too. Those are the 5 connections that I would run there. And I think we're going to do that at the pulpit at First United Methodist too. All right, I answered that. Anthony, could I use wireless HDMI transmitters to send a signal from my streaming PC to 2 monitors in the sanctuary? Yes, you could. Just be mindful of which ones you have, because it may introduce some latency, as in it may be, just know every time you add a piece of equipment, it's typically 1 to 3 frames behind, because it takes processing time to do that. But yes, you can do that. I did that in California for this displays, because we couldn't run cables there. We put wireless HDMI for the TVs that faces the pulpit, and that runs off of the ATEM that sends a signal there. Mr. Skilla, how is it going building the new headquarters? I know I'm like, man, look, we got a lot of work. Like, I would take you all the way downstairs, but I know this would lose a signal if I go all the way downstairs. Like I said, a couple of things that we're going to do is I'm going to repurpose all of the coax inside the walls here, because I'm not using that. I'm going to turn them all into SDI. So that way, just like at a church, I will put a distribution so it can send out to everywhere. And I can do it vice versa. So say I want to go downstairs when my couches get here, and I want to sit down on the couch and do a podcast down there. I can turn that Ethernet into a, for NDI, I can put that there and send it over the network that way. Or I can have my ATEM connected, because I had an ATEM Mini Pro downstairs that a church gave that instead of them paying for some other stuff that I have, some services I did for them. So I got that. That can be downstairs for the podcast stuff, but I can turn that into a SDI to feed out to the TV. So if I'm like that 24-hour live stream, I can have the other TVs that we have here showing what's going on live, or I can reverse it and then put an SDI on that, so I can have a camera on each floor if I want to do that. That's the other thing we're doing. And the main thing, which as much as I've done this, I don't know why I'm so hesitant and a little bit scared about cutting holes in the wall. It's not like I'm gonna get in trouble and I can patch it up and paint it, but I don't know why I'm nervous about that, but that's what we're gonna be doing. Mike, regarding NAS, have you looked into Hex OS? It's based on regular people. No, I haven't. I will look into that. I think, did I see somebody who made a video about that? Is that a web-based one? I gotta look into that. Rob, I appreciate what kind of fruit you have in your basket. I mean, I'm gonna leave that alone. And who is outside playing something from that car? Best quick option to connect the standard PTZ connected wirelessly into a camera mixer and remote control. The easiest way, if you're going to do that and you want to have it network controlled, it's going to be that you're going to have a wireless network adapter to where you kind of like the old, I don't even know if they make them anymore. Remember back in the day before printers had Wi-Fi, and you have a Ethernet Wi-Fi adapter to make it be Wi-Fi? So I actually have one of these. Hold on. Yeah, something like this. So the idea is this will turn, you would plug in whatever regular device that's over Ethernet, and it'll make it Wi-Fi. So with that, you could get something like that, connect the camera to it so the camera can be seen over the network. If it's controlled over the network, that will allow it to do it. But in this scenario, you would have to send video over the network as well too. That's the only way that would happen. And you may be able to put a PoE switch in between it so it can be powered, but that's the only way I can think that you could do that. Will I be raffling off some of the old tech devices that you don't use? Technically, I really don't raffle it off. I actually give it away. And most of the stuff that I have, I've already given away, and almost everything we got here, I do use. But for the most part, most of the time, I don't sell it. I give it to the people who need it. SJ Production. Just want to say thanks for all you do. The world needs more folk. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Charles. Hello, hello. Back to Gospel Talk. Yes, I build, configure the service from the instructions. I use vMix and YouTube. I use identical steps, but it will not stream out. Recheck keys. I have to see about that. Make sure. First thing you should do when you stream to it, there's also a way that you can like do VLC to be able to look at what is actually going to it. Make sure you're actually streaming to it first. And then also under the keys, make sure you don't have a semicolon or anything like that missing. Do that step that runs and checks the code of your config file to make sure something is not missing. The first thing I would do is get VLC, point to that so that you can view whatever's being sent to your server to make sure you're actually getting something. That's step one. Then after that, just do one stream at a time. Are you getting that? If you're not getting it there, it could be that there's a firewall or something that's blocking that needs to send out. Back to Charles. If you have a video wall and for image purposes, what type of computer system would be the best to facilitate this? If you have a video wall for image processors, honestly, any computer that's a 6-core and higher with a GPU should be more than enough. You don't really need anything super, super fancy for that. I wouldn't use a computer that's older than 7 years. I would probably say that. Personally, if you're really, really, really trying to save money, I am a big fan on the B-Links. I got a bunch of these. This would be more than enough to handle that. A Ryzen 7, this is what, 8 cores, 16 threads, 32 gigs of memory. That's a beast of a system. And that's sub $300. Yeah, that right there would be more than enough to do that if you really needed that. Now I'll put a link in the comments for that if you're interested in that one. Let's see what else we got. Hey Tony, you are welcome. Spotlight Deliverance. Hello, Phyllis here. Hope all is well. I see you made it in your place. Yeah, we have. We got still a lot of work. I'm waiting for Ayana to see how Ayana is going to be tomorrow. Excited about that. Back to Mike. Yeah, it was HD base T port, and we have it plugged into the LAN port, but I'm not sure how to get it configured right. There's no light on the switch, so something needs to be. If you go through the menu options, it should allow you to go through the networking stuff through the remote directly through that projector. If you don't have that, and it's set to DHCP and it's not set, was it new or was it used? And I'm just wondering. Maybe that part was bad. Yeah, thankfully, all the pictures that I took showed me where everything is on here. And the good thing is the electrical is coming up. So there's nothing going here and down. So that part I am excited about. So let me see. So like for this one, I haven't hung my PTZ outside yet. For the garage, but we've taken tons of pictures. So like from here, this is where All right, so like here, I see that this is open right here, so that's why I know I can run this right here. I see exactly where this is. I can go straight out here, get through, and then because this is straight, I can run my cable straight all the way back where the cable needs to go. I didn't want to run cable here, so I'm just gonna open up one of these access panels. One of these. Hold on. I bought a bunch of these. And this is how we're gonna have access to this. So I bought a bunch of these, open up this, and it'll give me a door to get into this. So I can reach my hand in and be able to modify stuff. And it's like on a lever, so I can pop this open. I can reach in, get access to the cable. So this is what I'm doing on each floor, because I followed the path of how they ran the cables up. So the idea is I'm gonna put one of these on each floor and then reach in, drill a hole into the floorboard, a 2-inch hole, so I can run. I'm only gonna run 4 cables, but I make the hole wide enough so if I ever decide to add more, I can. So that's why I'm glad that I took a whole bunch of pictures of everything. And then in that same thing, here's the garage from the backwards. So like I said, I just got to watch out from here. That server room is right there where that wall is, that drywall is right there. So my push rod, all I got to do is make sure I lined up with the floor joist and just toss that through, punch through that wall right there, and I'm in the server room where I ran everything. So good thing I took all those pictures. So you said my volume is low? Oh, I wasn't talking loud, Robert. That was me. But hello to you. And that reminds me, I had to reach out to another church. They wanted me to come visit them to do their digital wall. I need to reach back out to them. To you, looking for solutions or ideas on video wall costs. And it all depends on the size of the screen and how many that you want. Right now, I think LED Nation, who I've used for the majority of the screens that I've done, let's see. I hate when they do these YouTube videos like on websites and it's dominating us. So right now they have a 9.5 foot wide by 6.3 foot tall digital wall for around $8,400. So pretty decent in a price, but again, need to know what the specs are. T, I am good, T. I'm going to integrate vMix into our system. What I'm stuck on is how to get the cameras into vMix. Just want the program out and continue to do all the switching. Well, that's kind of like the way I have mine set up. So, wait a minute. So you said you want to integrate that on how to just get the cameras into vMix. Just want the program out and continue to do all this. I mean, well, that's the exact same way how I have mine set up. So let me open back up my camera. And I don't need audio. Hold on. I am streaming. Why are you not showing up? Hold on. Oh, I updated the app, so it changed. Really? There it goes. So hopefully my audio is still going to be good. Let me make sure this is fine. All right, so I'm back still on this mic. So the way I have mine is I have my program out. That's going out here into an HDMI splitter, and then that's going back to my recording, but that is going into here. Now, I'm doing this because I have a SDI capture card, so you wouldn't have to do this. Technically, all you would do is have, well, no, if you're doing vMix, really, all you got to do is do USB out, and that would go into the computer, into vMix. That's what I'm doing with mine. Now, the difference with mine is I have the Decklink capture card in mind that requires an SD. So that's why I'm converting over to this for that. But in your setup, all you would do is just have the USB out from the ATEM, and that goes into vMix, and then it would just show the USB. So like, for example, hopefully I don't break nothing when I do this. All I would do is do add and add a camera, and then pick the ATEM like that. And see, that gives me the feed out. So again, you're seeing that because I'm doing the NDI camera, so that's not seeing. But I mean, this is the same camera that's going from there. So the same thing you're seeing on my capture card through the SDI, which is the program out, is the same thing that the USB is doing. So that's all you would need to do. Hope that makes sense for you. Oh. Congrats on the move. Any plans to build a studio at the home? Hey, well, that's what we're doing right now. Like I said, we're going to do a little bit more. Like I said, overhead, we're going to have a PTZ hanging from right there. I'm going to put some lights up here. I'm going to order some blinds so I can cover that. This wall is going to be painted. And the main thing is I'm going to use my Unify door access stuff on my server room, as well as downstairs, and stuff like that. Man, it feels like way more time has gone by. We've only been talking for an hour. Felt like we've been talking more than that. But yeah, man, it's like I'm very excited and thankful for everything like that. We don't have all the cameras set up, but that's the other thing we are going to work on. I still have a new Persil PTZ camera that they sent me right before I moved in. I got to do a review of that. I have the video I got to edit from Chicago. Hopefully going to do that later this afternoon. Yeah, just really appreciative of all y'all. And like I said it to some other folks, this Christian walk being real is like, yeah, I love God and all that other stuff, but I'm gonna be real transparent. This was very frustrating. I got very upset with God. I was like, God, why are you taking so long? This, and this. I wasn't the perfect model Christian, but the good thing is I don't have to be a model Christian. I have a perfect God. And in spite of me being unreliable, he always was. Even though I didn't understand it, I became very impatient. I'm glad that he didn't get tired of me and all that other stuff. I'm very thankful. For the people that know, you'll know this. It took 2,553 days for this seed to gestate and be birthed. Events happened September 23rd, 2018. I was able to move into the house September 24th, 2025. So if you know, you know. So again, thankful. Just really excited to have a place for, an actual home now for me and my daughter, and a place that I can use to do what I need to do to help grow and give y'all some ideas, and kind of like my laboratory. So I don't really have to get anybody's permission to do the stuff, to transform the place, do podcast studios, showing you examples of that, but then show you what other content can come from a ministry as well too. So haven't had a chance to update this because we have had 2 new Patreon supporters. If you like what we do here, folks, and you appreciate the things that we do, again, my company funds this, and other great people like this help make this possible. So if you like what we do, folks, you can become a patron by going to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO. You can get started for as low as, I think it's $1.50 a month now that they moved it to. All the great people on here have been supporters here, and thank you so much for that. And but if you don't want to do Patreon, you can click the join button down below to become a YouTube member. What we do is I enter y'all's names into giveaways twice. You get discounts and benefits and all this other stuff like that. To just my way of giving back to y'all and thanking you so much for all the stuff that you do and helping me get here to what we do. So I really appreciate that. No matter which way you pick, folks, you're helping us train media ministries all over the world, folks. I know I'm going a little bit, normally I would go a little bit longer, but I still got a whole bunch of work to do. And I got a bunch of things lined up that I got to get knocked out before 3 o'clock and before my daughter gets here tomorrow. But again, thank you so much. Just realize, folks, you are appreciated. Something that you do would impact somebody and is impacting somebody that you are never probably going to meet. But their success is going to be dependent on if you can keep holding on. Keep doing what you're doing, folks. I understand, man, I had some very interesting conversations with some very confidently wrong people the last couple of days. But I'm not doing it, do what we do just to impress one person. We do it because this is the skill set that we've been given. This is the task, the assignment we've been given. And we want to do the best that we possibly can for what God gave us. That's what it's all about. And when my stuff gets set up, we'll have our mic set up because as you can see, I don't have nothing connected to anything. But hey, I appreciate y'all. Keep it up. Just know that you got somebody to your left and your right doing the same thing that you're doing, and we need you. You're appreciated. And I hope y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are, folks. Great to be back. And we'll be seeing y'all on the roundtable this Sunday. And that's about it, folks. Later.